Testing 3, 2, 1. Testing 3, 2, 1. Yep, I hear myself. Boy, my voice is raspy now. I ruined it with that podcast and the bullhorn, y'all. Of course, it ain't completely to blame. I also ruined it singing with Nirvana songs. I'm having to learn how to re-sing Nirvana. Much of his throat problems was the style he sung in, and I know it. Because Nirvana was one of the big things that I did back in the past. Nirvana and Guns N' Roses. And since '97, I've been doing people like Marilyn Manson, 9 Inch Nails. But Nirvana takes a strain on your throat, but that podcast and bullhorn really took a strain on my throat. But I did get the song recorded today, thank the Lord. I've been aiming to do it at least since 3 or 4 days ago, but I didn't know where my memory card was. And then I remembered I accidentally grabbed my memory card for my camera last time. Those were the closing weeks of Turnbuckle. So I had to get it out of my camera and reformat it and stick it back into the little DAW, mini DAW, pocket DAW. It's not as pocketed as some of them that they make today. Some of them are really small. You have to carry it in some kind of small bag. It is small, but it ain't small like some of the newer ones today. And I was very pleased with that in my micro SD boombox. It's also got a cassette recorder too. It's got a micro SD card slot. But I don't judge the recordings until I listen to them in the car stereo. And I haven't been anywhere since we got home from the mountains the other day. I don't know if we're going to karaoke this week or not. I haven't discussed it with the family, so I don't know. We didn't go last week. Well, I need to get into the other world. You know, I would always test my songs when I go to Turnbuckle every week. It was kind of neat because I'd be riding the Turnbuckle and I'd be trying out my music and decide, can't take that one, can take that one. And then I decided not to take any of those. I am going to take them. They're just not going to be my album. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop them on Reverb Nation and YouTube and other places the night my album comes out. And you'll hear them as well. I'll just mark them as
but I know you.
Because they were pretty good. The time I spent on them and how I done them. But I don't feel comfortable. So I'm going to make sure I make my own beats. See, all in the other albums, I made my own beats. And that's when I use those apps. And it tells you that you're fine on YouTube. And they even say you can use them, like, to release them if you give them the credit. But I just feel comfortable if I do it myself. But it does have the clearance for all that. It's for YouTube and all that stuff for free. And particularly, they said you could use it on pro levels too. But I'm scared to dabble with it. See, I don't know where they got their samples at in their packs. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop them on YouTube as demos. And Reverb. And other places. Wherever I can drop them for free. They're not going to be released on the album. The album's going to be totally beats created and generated, and maybe drum beats too, because I can play drum beats on the computer. I mean, on the whatever you call it, keyboards. So some of the songs may be made that way, and I may do a little bit of the kazoo like I did tonight. Boy, that turned out okay. I mean, I've never been really good at kazoo, but I mean, it turned out good for this song that I did tonight. You know, now they use kazoos on albums, so I'm not doing anything that people don't do. I need to change their clothes. I thought it turned out really grungy. You know, that's good for me because I love grunge. I'm going to release it soon. I'm not going to drop it right now because I don't want to copyright it by itself. But as soon as I get a few more, as soon as I get some tracks recorded enough to copyright it, it's getting dropped even before the album. It may be out before this end of this year as a single. That was how I did the, what back then with its original, Mission to Mars. I dropped it before I had the album finished. See, back then copyrights were cheaper. They're fucking expensive now. These fuckers have made copyright expensive. And they limit you songs now, too. I mean, back then, you could just send them tapes and tapes and tapes of stuff. Now they limit you to how many songs you can copyright. So I've tried to keep it under the spectrum of 8 songs. And I may have to do that on two copyrights, I'm not sure. I'll have to go read it again and see how many songs you can do. They're $50 fucking a piece. Now, just the copyright. You only get a handful of fucking songs for $50, too. These bastards I mean, that ought to be illegal. They work for us. The government, they work for us. That should be fucking illegal for them to charge people $50-something. That's expensive. I mean, it wouldn't be bad if you could copyright like you used to, where you just could send them a whole tape, the whole tapes. You could send them a bunch of CDs and a bunch of tapes and whatever you wanted. It ain't like that anymore. The fuckers have found a way to make a cheap living off of, some fuckers getting paid big. I think it's $55. I'm pretty sure. So I may have to spend $110 to copyright if I had to do it in 2 sections. But I'm not going to just copyright that one song. So we will drop it as soon as it's copyrighted. And I mean we, as in me. Me as in we. Me as in we. There is no we with me. It's all me. I'm a one-man band. I have to do everything myself. I can't afford to hire anybody. I'm not making any money. So I can't afford to have a team. Now I could probably have some volunteers so I could find some people to do it. I don't trust that. You know, I don't trust to work with anybody. I try to do everything myself. And I'm going to tell you all a story about this guy named Maxwell Jordan. He let this douchebag help him with his website. And that motherfucker went in there and stowed up all of his stuff. He went in there and put everything in his fucking name. So I just do everything myself. I don't trust to work with anybody. And it's not that I don't hate people, I just don't trust them. I even got an offer from a guy that I found out pretty much, and he's been doing his own music lately, and I wish him luck, by the way. He actually offered to help me, but see, I just didn't, it's not him. It's just that I feel better if I do it myself. I don't really want to do it myself because I'm not that good at breaking music. When it comes to, well, you can work for hire people and hire them to do stuff. That is something you can do. But he don't like taking money for stuff anyway, so. That's what I did with my first albums. I paid a dude to record the music. But I just don't have the money anymore. All my money goes to credit cards now. They don't go to our living. And I'm just going to have to let them fuckers pay off so I don't have them in my way. I mean, the only other thing I could do is let them go, and then they'd start their suing and all that other stuff and putting liens against me. So I'll just have to let them pay them off. And then, but I ain't never going to do it because I'm always buying something. Hello there. I gotta quit. I just gotta quit. I gotta put my foot down, let them pay off, and get out of it. Get out of that mess. Partially the music was to blame why I started getting in debt. I wanted to take the fast route. I spent nearly, let's see, I started December 2005 on Tales of Hurting the Paranormal. And I didn't finish it till about right before I put it out in June 2006. So I spent all that time on it. But then I did the other album the same way. But the third album I took well, I didn't pay the guy to make my music. But I spent more in the mastering. Now I just master it with the AI shit they offer. Because it's cheaper. I mean, it's better it really is better when you get to the person. When the people do it. But I just don't have that kind of money to type it anymore. Especially not making any money, not being a band, not being on the road, not making a living out of it. Just doing it for free. Even though nothing is free. If I could play music, it'd be much easier. I never could get it, y'all. I have a guitar over here, still can't get it. I got it out the other day trying. My fingers just don't work with a guitar. I never can get keyboards either. I can play drums on the keyboard, that's it. See, what happens is, and I have done it, I've got these videos out and I've been watching, following along. I can't never move my fingers right. Get it sound right. I can't do it. Same with the guitar. I'm sure it has something to do with that neurological issue. I did learn one Nirvana song one time on the guitar. I don't even know if I know how to do it now. It was years ago. It was like in the early 2000s. And it was the one that, there's not really much to it though. And it was on a single. It was a B-side. And it went do 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 do. And she had a voice. It's about marijuana, basically. That was the only one I could play. I could actually play that do 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 do. That's the only thing I ever got. The only thing I could ever figure out. And on the keyboard, the only thing I can play is Halloween. I figured out it, but it wasn't it that I figured out. It's the other one where he's going boom, 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 boom. I figured out that one. Boom, 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 boom. I figured out how to play that one. Those are the only two songs I can play. One on the keyboard and one on the piano. I mean, the keyboard and one on the guitar. Two songs I could ever learn to play. And I never could get anything else. And then I made that mess I put out at the end of Breaking the Insanity Box. And that was 19 minutes of mess, by the way. And I cut it down and edited it, chopped it up a bit, made it sound a little more professional. But it was really just 19 minutes of mess. It was really just noise. And then I took some lyrics of a song that I wasn't sure I wanted to put out. And I sort of screamed it in the background. You can sort of hear it muffled. You can't hear what it's saying, but you can hear my voice. Those are the only two songs I can play. Is the one, I think that was called The Shape or something. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. I learned that early, like when I was a kid. When my mother got me that keyboard at 1988. That's the first thing I learned. Boom, 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 boom. And what I did was I got the movie out, because I'd watch it all the time back then anyway. I got the movie out. Boom, 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 boom. And I just started playing along with it, so I got it. Boom, 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 boom. That prostitute gone though. She ain't gone. Boom. She's a redhead. Boom, boom. We'll see what she looks like. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. I can't get her. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. She got it. Boom. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom. That was actually mean. I was thinking of Michael Myers. Sure, more paramedics.
That car is on fire.
It's a little noisy for me. It's not quite as noisy as some of them. It's aggravating me a bit. Let's see if I can find her something to do tonight besides drive around. Light was already changing. I'll probably have to wait to see when I can. I'll probably have to even save up the copyright on those lately. If I even have anything to save. Lately, it's been taking every dollar. So I don't know if I'll get anything out this year or not. We'll see. I forgot about that. Our damn power bill's been too fucking high. Thank you, Biden. I hope people vote your fucking ass out. You know that, you old fucking old man. Hope they send you to the rest home. Just like they sent Lynn Cheney home. This is all his fault, y'all. Why we're having to live with this bullshit. Send him home. Send them all home. All these green fuckers.
What miracle did you want me to perform?
And all liberals gonna say, it's bad, bad. Oh, it's bad, bad. Oh, it's bad, mean tweet. I'd much rather have a mean tweet than no food to eat. Now, luckily, we've had food to eat. God has provided. Thank you, Jesus. He has. More than I tell. More than I tell. Like I say, I don't brag off everything. That was sort of a 9/11 present, though. Cheney getting sent home just a month before. You know, her daddy was responsible for 9/11. That was better revenge than going to war with Iraq. That's what they should have done back then. Just send them home. Instead of going to war over it.
Hi, you. Can I do this pitch or what?
Oh, so bad as back then I was a supporter of that garbage. I didn't know better, so... I didn't know any better. I was young and dumb. Young and dumb. But I always questioned things even back then. I sort of questioned. Took me a few years.
Hey there! You're late. Talk to me.
Cuff me.
Hey, I'm digging your car.
I'm not. It's busted its taillight out. I smartened up by the end of the 2000s, though. Those later half of that first decade. I didn't vote for either Democrat or Republican, and neither one of those with Obama, because you wasn't getting nothing different. One side you had Mittens, and the other time you had McCain. And I didn't vote for either. I'm proud of myself, too. When I say proud, I say that lightly. I don't have pride. Let's just say I give myself a thumbs up for that I didn't fall for either candidate. I smartened up since the early 2000s. The only reason I voted for Trump is because he was promising to fix America. So I wouldn't even been dumb there. We need America fixed. It's broken. And it's been broke even more with the goons that are in charge right now. They are really breaking it. They're destroying it. They're destroying it.
Hello there. Juanito, how's it going?
Let's see if I can find something to do. Living's gonna come over everything else, though. Even if I have to put my album on hold, but I will have it recorded. So it'll be nice to actually have it recorded. I sat on that other for years. But the problem was I wasn't happy with it, and this kept fixing the hell out of the thing. You can sort of tell it's overdone when you listen to it. I did that thing like Guns N' Roses did. Chinese democracy, just not as many years. It should have really been out in 14. And you can sort of tell it's dated. You listen to some of the lyrics. And this song was supposed that I recorded tonight was supposed to be on EOH. Because I didn't get it finished. I wish I could find its original demo. I find its original demo, I'll put that out there too. I'm gonna look for it. I probably got it saved somewhere on a hard drive somewhere. If I find it, I pull it out and put it out with the demo drop. Because it ain't really changed much. Its concept's been the same all along. I just added more lyrics to it over the years. Just the other day, I changed a few lyrics, just some of the words. Nothing big, just a change of the words. Like the entities that I was talking about. I just replaced it with another word for that entity. So that was pretty much what, and you'll hear what I'm talking about when and if it ever gets out. Because you'll also hear the old drop too, the ones I've been working on since 2020. Because I'm gonna put that demo out, then I'm gonna put the ones I put out that worked and all this from April to July. July was the last time I worked on one. Right before July 4th. And then that was around the time I decided I'm gonna build my own beats. So I couldn't find my vocals, but I don't think they would have fit anyway, so I just redid them. Now I got the vocals for the other few songs, because I got them, but I couldn't find the vocals for it. But I don't think that'll fit anyway. It's a totally different style of song. It's like going back to its original, and I had re-recorded. Those are the vocals I found, by the way, the one that I did, but I didn't like them too much. So I just went ahead and redid it. Because it was grungier back then when I first started with it, and then I made it this weird thing. I put a clip of it a few months ago. Just a little small sample of the weird piece. But I didn't give away any of my new lyrics, because see, it was just the leaving off of the other song. Which technically doesn't give you any idea of where it's going, because I don't want to give my story away until it's out. You see, it already pretty much started the way it starts. It ended the way it starts, where only God knows if he gets home. But he's got a big tail in between getting home, if he ever even gets home. I'm not going to tell that much yet, because I'm going to let the story come out. But on his way, he has a whole new journey, and it's a better journey. Better than what I did with the original one, because it's an actual tale. They've had songs for years about space travel. I mean, there was one in the 80s that was similar to the one in the one that David Bowie done. You had the David Bowie, which was the originator, I think. I think he might have been the original. I don't know if there was anybody before him that did the ground control to Major Time. Was there anybody that did that before him? They might have been. You never know. Because there was in the year 2525, where they were talking about the future. They weren't talking about traveling in space. So there might have been somebody talking about space travel in the past that I don't remember. Oh yeah, there was a few. But they might have come out at the same time David Bowie was around. Because he's been around. He was around for a long time, you know. So he might have still been a beat them to it, even if there are other songs out there. But this second one's going to be more unique because it's more of a tale of what's going to happen to him through this journey. And I even work in some surprises, surprises and spiritual twists as well. So it's sort of like a well, it's going to be a story. I don't want to tell too much because I'll give it away. I gotta hear what he said. Let's pull over here. What is this place? It's for sale. Let's see what it is. An apartment? Is it a building? Yeah, they are apartments, but you can't buy any more apartments. I don't want to get her a new apartment anyway because I know how to get her home. I'm keeping her in that dingy thing because I know how to get her home. I know the landmarks when I see them. The UFO, the panties, some of those other landmarks, well, some of them buildings. Of course, I could probably figure out, like, if I was in it long enough, I could probably figure out the graphics to get back to wherever I would be then.
Come over anytime. I'll give you a makeover. Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
It's sweet ride.
You know what? Those songs I work on for years, they usually turn out better than the ones I just write immediately. I probably really should do that with each and every song. And not worry about whether I get an album out, just put it out whenever I put it. Because I've noticed when I work on them for years and years and years, they're better. They turn out better. Because I go through it and I think, oh, I don't like that, I'll change that. No, I don't like that. I like that, but I'm going to improve it a little bit. That's sort of what I did with this song. I just tweaked it some. I tweaked it some even. Well, I tweaked it from 2020. But then I got to listening to it the other day and I thought, well, I could tweak it some more, so I did. It's kind of better when you spend years on them, because when you spend years on them, you polish it. And make it the best that it can be. But if you're working on an album, you don't have time to do that. I'm not going to give up on trying to learn how to play music, but it's been a while, so I don't know how. I'm already getting an old man now, so it might not matter. Hell, I turned 47 this year. Still ain't giving up. I'm still trying. At least you can program stuff. I mean, that is one thing you can do in today's world. I mean, it ain't old-fashioned music like I like. I mean, I like the real stuff. This thing's close. That kazoo added a little more flavor to it. When I added that in there, it sounds like something that would come out of the 90s. And that's enough for me. Or maybe late 80s. But it's more like the 90s or late 80s or 90s grungy sound. It's a grungy sound or something. It's real grungy. That other one was too grungy. I didn't like it. That's why I didn't keep it. I may put it out though if I find it. When I'm dropping the demos and I can find it, I'll demo it as well. The original grunge version I didn't like. I turned down. I played it in the car and I didn't like it in the car. I will drop it though, just to let y'all see the more metamorphosis of the song. And you'll be able to see what I changed and what I didn't, what I liked and what I didn't like and what I changed. I think I'm happy with it now. I don't think I could do much anymore with it. A couple of my songs will be weird, the weird calculator thing. That's cause they won't sound right in a metalish, grungy sound. It just wouldn't work with what the songs are about. It wouldn't work. So they'll have to be digital. They might even be drum beat generated, and then I may do some other stuff with it. In other words, I can play drums on the keyboard. That's one thing I can do. I've been able to do that since 1988 as a kid. I'm good at that. I'm real good at it. I'd like to have a real drum set. I think I could play drums if I had them. But I don't have nowhere to put no drums. But I'm thinking about getting me one of those digital drums. If I can ever afford one. I was always good at tapping cups and stuff, tapping cups and cans. So I could probably play drums if I had some. I remember when I got Steven Endler's drumsticks, when we went to see him. I played to those freaking drumsticks. Of course, it was the opening band. I got one from the opening band and one from Steven Endler somewhere of another show. And when I got those two drumsticks, I had one from Steven Endler. I had one from whoever this other, there was another band, I don't even remember who they were. They were opening for either Hinder or something, one of those other bands who went to see. It might have been the Alabama band, it might have been one of the bands that was with them. That guy eventually went on to be Steven Endler's singer. I don't know if he still is. The Alabama band we used to watch all the time. We used to watch Five People all the time too. But y'all know I got to see them the other day. Oh, that's that road you get on when... You remember when you had to start the missions out? I found that place. That's it. Where you had to go to the... Wherever it was at. Yeah, that's it. And I'd always lose that guy. I like to never completed that mission. But I've actually found the street. I was stuck in that forever. I couldn't keep up with his ass. Yeah, I had one drumstick from Steven Endler and one from some other band. And when I got them two drumsticks, I started playing with them. But I'm telling you, I'm really... If I had what I wanted to do and I could play rock and roll like real rock and roll, my music would be like that instead of more just digital stuff. But I have to do what I can work with. And I'm going to tell you, even the stuff that I paid for, if I could have actually played that stuff, it would have probably been much harder. It would have probably been more harder, more hardcore. 'Cause I kind of like my stuff heavy. It would have probably been more hardcore. Now, I kind of did that tonight. Even with that generated sequencer thing I've got. That I made the main rhythm with. The sequencer thing. You have to type in patterns and sequences. And then that plays them back for you. Back home. When I put that kazoo with it, boy, it brought it out. It detailed it. And then I did even more when I was finishing it. I added a distortion to it. And the distortion really made it grungy. I started messing with the distortioner. So that done it. Now, it sort of messed one of my vocals up, I noticed, when I distorted it. Because I just run it through the distortion before I mastered it. Because I wanted the vocal to kind of be brought out too. It kind of made a pop, but you know, my old recordings have pops in them too, so I'm not going to be too picky about the pop. I'll try to see if I can filter it out. At the end of the song, there's a pot where I was whispering. I got a line where I whisper. And it pops my whisper when I distorted it. I like how it sounds. But I got to test it out in the car first. It sounds like gritty grunge. Especially that distortioner. That distortioner really gave it the grungy sound. I compared it to something like somewhere between Melvin's and Nirvana's Bleach. It's kind of low-key like the Nirvana Bleach, but it sounds more over there in the camp of Melvin's. But then my vocal, it's kind of not like either one of those bands. I'm just telling you the feel that it gives me. It gives me the feel of either a Melvin song or a Nirvana song. Or maybe a mixture of a Nirvana and a Melvin song. By the way, they did have some songs that he did produce on one of their albums. It sort of gives that feel. And that distortion really added it. Now, it don't really sound like none of their songs. But I'm just telling you the feel it has. Like, I'm talking about that feel. That grungy feel. I wasn't even thinking about Melvin's when I was even creating it, or Nirvana, for that matter. Because if you've heard the original takes of it, it's always been something weird. Its first version was weird. It was some kind of crazy shit. And then I made the grunge version in April. Didn't like it, changed it. Went back to a weird sound, which you'll hear again. And now it's went back to the grunge, and I'm happy with the grunge this time. That other was something not right about it. But I had to sing my vocal out just to fit the word, the rhythm, so I had to change the style that I sung it in from the way I was singing it back then. So it wasn't completely 100% like. In other words, I didn't go into it today knowing what it was going to sound like, and I didn't even know what it was going to sound like even when I was through. And I'm telling you, when I played it tonight, I thought, whoa, I didn't even imagine it going this route. It's sort of like an exciting thing. Because it kind of took on a life of its own. I mean, I had a thought of how it was going to turn out. It didn't turn out nothing like I thought it'd turn out. I always love it when that happens. That's the best kind of creations you ever make. When they turn out on their own and they take their own life, it's sort of like it's alive. And like you're just kind of giving birth to it, and then it comes into the world. That's sort of what it's like. Like you're its father, or if you're a woman, you're its mother. And you're creating that baby, and that baby's coming into the world. And then when it's born, you get to see it. I like it when the songs turn out like that. Those are my favorite songs. When they turn out like that. Of course, I know most people don't know nothing about the process of song. And I don't know the real stuff, you know, like actually going in and actually like writing the music and stuff. I basically am a lyricist is what I am. I write poems and stories, and then I sing them out, and then I'll add a beat to it. That's what I have to do. And because I don't have a band, I can't have my band create music. I would have had a band if I'd been able. I'd have went out and formed me a band if I'd had the help. I don't whine about it. I just accepted karaoke as a stand-in, and creating albums as a stand-in. I create the albums just to do them, just to see if I can do it. And I'm always pleased even when it doesn't turn out how I wanted it to. In other words, I might want it a little better. I might want the big production. The best compliment I ever got was this former guy from Sony. He wrote me an email, and he told me, he said, "Your stuff is home-based, but I like the way you do it." He said, "What did you do? Did you do that? That sounds sort of like old-fashioned." And I said, "Well, here's what I did." I said, "I didn't have much control over the music aspect of it, so I went in and done it to my vocals. And what I did was, I did what Jimi Hendrix and Beatles and a few other people did. Creedence Clearwater Revival, a few of those old 60s and 70s bands. And I done with my vocals what they would do with guitars and drums." And then he wrote me back, he said, "Well, I like your style." And he said, "Just think, if you could actually get on an album and you had somebody behind you, you'd be really good." That's what he told me. He said, "Because I like your style. I like what you did." He said, "You don't see that anymore." And I told him, "Well, every master I sent it to complained about it too." That's what I told him. And they do. Every time I sent that stuff off to get mastered, they'd whine about it. They'd say, "We don't do that like that anymore." And I was saying, like, I was kind and I held my tongue. But I wanted to say, like Kinder with one finger, "Fuck that." Because I didn't care about what people did. I was doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? He did. He wrote me and told me. Back when I was first putting it out and I was promoting it, I was sending it out these places, and he actually wrote me a letter and he told me that he liked the way I did it. He said, "You're real grungy and real home brew sounding." But he said, "I like your style." But I was just listening to what they did, you know. But I was paying more attention to the guitars and stuff than I was the vocals on those albums. And I copied what they did with their instruments, I did with the vocals. And I'm telling you, the engineers complained about that. Every engineer that I'd send that to send my music like that, they would complain. I don't do that much anymore because I don't record the same way I used to. I do everything digitally now. Like even if I have a backing vocal, I make the backing vocal. I don't sing it out myself. I go in there and I make some changes to the original one, and I lower it some, and then I either high it up or speed it down. And I make the backing vocals like that now, but I didn't used to do that in the old days. In the old days, I went in and recorded the back vocal. It saves me some time. And I already spent, like, say, I started at around 4 p.m. today, somewhere around 3 or 4. I didn't end until somewhere around 8 or 9. And then I fell asleep for a little bit, got up at 12, midnight, ate my meal, and we was going white chugging the Restless, but we didn't ever get it on. So I watched a little bit of Beavis and Butthead, then I come in here and I finished it. Did the mix, because what happened was, and I'm not good at mixing. I can do it, but I'm not a pro. It may take me a gazillion times to get it, but I'm getting better at it, so maybe I'm getting pro, because I am getting better at it. But I don't know if I'm pro or not. I'm no pro at it. But tonight, like say when I first did it, I got my music levels a little too high, and it was fine for most of the song. But then I got to the end, and you couldn't hear the whisper, and you couldn't hear the ending of the songs. My voice kind of lowered at that part. And I thought, man, I messed it up. Well, I went back and I turned it down a notch on the music and turned it up a bit on the vocal. And then that fixed that. So I'm getting a little better. Like, back in the old days, I was like, I could go through hundreds of CDs and still not get it. And that's what I did back then. I recorded them on CDs. And I wouldn't get it. But now, like, I might get it in a couple of tries. She's lost some money. I'll pull off for a second. Get her phone up. See if I find her something to do.
I just speak into the thing? What? This...
Okay, now let's find the job. Oh, my neck. I may have to get off. Set up too long today. Oh, I hurt my neck bad. I set up too long. Is that a race? I know she'll be doing it herself, at least she'll be racing. Put her a green outfit with the... I wonder if you can change the color of the car. I guess you can. That's a nice color anyway. Oh, here we go. I don't care if she's racing by herself or not. I get the race. Whoa! That's like, whatever it's called. The game you had to play the guitar, get the music. I had one of those, but I didn't have the guitar to play it with, so I didn't do too well. I do it on the controller, and it didn't work too well. You can do it. I got it used, of course. Whoa, 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 yes, she make it? She made it. I think she made it. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I knocked the car. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing if... I don't know why they don't make an NPC mode on GTA where you can have NPCs. Or if you don't want to play with real people, you can play with NPCs. Here we go. Going through the tunnel. Whoa. Whoa, Beavis, whoa. One good thing about having to get the Paramount, I was too cheap to buy it, but I wasn't really too cheap, I just didn't have it. Like I said, I was having over $100-something coming out in services. I had my Netflix back because I was watching some of the Netflix shows. And if I can't afford it, I'll probably have to cancel again. We'll see. I did save some money with some of this, and I'm planning to cancel some more later. I just hadn't went through them and obsessed what all I want to get rid of. I saved $27.30 with the Netflix, but now I'm still saving $27 of what else I can. Whoa! Oh Lordy! There goes that Turismo. That'd be $27 more that I can put in food if we have to. We get it down to the month. Oh no, 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 no! Dang it! How do I start over? How do I... I'm stuck. Oh, okay. Let's turn her around. It's the ends of the mops that's really hurting us. And that power bill is so freaking high. Hope it ain't that high this month. We'll see. Ooh, loud. Oh, she blew up. She blew up, baby. I was still watching Stranger Things. I'm watching some of them Transformers. Y'all know me, I like the Transformers. I don't like them voices in them shows. It's like they whisper or something. What the fuck is with that? We need to make Transformers great again. Them new styles they do, them voices suck. I hear they're making one for Paramount. But what I was saying was, we don't have a actual CBS anymore because we have took a cable that doesn't offer the locals, nor Fox, nor TBS. But what we do have is we had to take Paramount to watch the soap operas. How do I restart? She's off the track, y'all. She's stuck. She is stuck like a mother bug. I wish they'd give me an option to get back on the track. There we go. One good thing about having to watch the Paramount is I watched the new Beavis and Butthead. I watched them back when they was on the originals. I like the new ones better than the originals. Well, sorta. Sorta. I don't like that stuff about reviewing the videos, you know, the like YouTube-ish videos, but I guess if Beavis and Butthead were in today's world, I guess that'd be something they'd be watching. Gotta get back on the freaking track. Which way's the track? Which way did she go? Huh. Here's some schmuck here in the night. Driving was fucking loud engine. How do I get back on the track? Huh. I guess I'll just have to quit. Can't believe it won't put me back on the track. How do you get back on the track? Well, that ain't definitely gonna get her back on the track. That's funny. That was funny. How'd I get her up on the freaking train? Well, I'll find a new session before I get out of here. Let's go on the public session. Or disable the mic, because I'll be driving some other people crazy. So I'll talk to y'all later.
God! Oh, God!
Good news, we located some supplies. Bad news, they're in the hands of a rather serious stick-up operation. So get a hold of them and bring them in, and be careful. They're fragile.
I'll be getting off here in just a bit, so I'm getting sleepy. Okay. I got into a mission there. I'm just too tired to play it. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna work on a song tomorrow or tonight. We'll see. I think I'm gonna make a mix of that without the distortion. I've actually got it without the distortion. But I think I'll make a master of it without the distortion and see what it sounds like without the distortion. I'll see y'all later. And now I hit the stop broadcast. Oh yeah, this one. So tired, I forgot. Hour, 26 minutes. What time is it?